This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
You know, I know they were missing LeBron last night, and Miami was missing Pal and missing Hero.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, I don't know if I could ask for much more from them, to be quite honest. You know what I mean? I was enjoying Triple J's aggressive nature that he has this year. That's kind of, like I told you, I'm into the development of the season, what's going on with individuals. And that has been the pleasant surprise early on, is watching the cojones that Jaquez is playing with.
Okay.
Yeah, he is aggressive. He is aggressive. He is fearless. Let's put it that way. And I like that.
I agree. There has been some really good youth and some really concerning youth. So it's sort of been a 50-50 proposition. So I wouldn't go all in overboard. Yeah.
Where stuff you're talking about from last night. No,
and even Jovic. I think when you look at the Heat's youth right now, Jaquez breakout season. I mean, you know, going from sophomore slump to junior jump, all you can ask. Your favorite, Pelle Larsson.
Yeah.
He's going to have to stay in the rotation, Big O, even after Hero and Powell return, because he just gets stuff done. So you have two pluses there. I agree. On the other side of the ledger, Kel'el Ware, you know, it's just interesting. You and I go back. So there's always going to be the Hassan 2.0 comparisons. And my gosh, it's feeling that way, including the way he's bumping heads with Spo right now, gets benched after the first stint. And even another guy I know you're high on, Nikola Jovic, you got to sort of man up, young man. You're a power player. You're 6'10". You have to play bigger. But this is the deal, and it might be the deal for your rebuilding Dolphins soon and everyone else. When you turn to youth, it's going to be hit and miss. You're going to hit on some, you're going to miss on some. So you keep grinding through the cycle. So right now, the Heat are sort of tied 2-2. You have Jaquez, you have Larsson positive, you have Ware, you have Jovic negative. We have to see now what Kasparis Jakachonis does. Maybe he swings the ledger. But that's the thing. If you throw enough youth into that pot and stir it around, you'll get at least something out of it. That's where the Heat are right now. They are what they are. They literally are a 3-3 team that looks like a 3-3 team that has gone 2-2 on youth. And now we wait to see if other strides can be made.
Yeah. And by the way, this means it's only 3-3. It's
Correct.
not like you're giving up on Ware or anything like that. This is all part of the growing process. That maybe they'll bump heads and eventually, you know, he'll figure it out and it goes, or he goes the other way. And then you know that you know, but we've got a whole season to figure this stuff out with the kid. But yeah, there are bright spots. And like last night, I know the Lakers are better. You're on the road. It's, you know, I thought they did all right last night. They fell behind.
Right there.
They came back and they put themselves in position. You know, for what they are last night, I did not walk away like, oh my God, I was so unhappy with the performance last night.
You know what? The NBA is about closers. And if you look at the Heat's 3 losses this year, up 8 in Orlando, 1-point lead in San Antonio, within 2 last night early in the 4th. That's when your closers take over. Who is this team's closers? Tyler Hero and Norman Powell, who wasn't available last night. Tyler Hero and Norman Powell. You win with your closers. They had Luka Doncic. They had Austin Reeves. That makes the difference. On Thursday in San Antonio, they had Victor Wembanyama. That makes the difference. So I need to see this team with its closers. The Heat are playing the Clippers tonight. Maybe Norman Powell returns. About 10 days out from Tyler Hero. So honestly, as we go through our accurate Pembroke Pines reports, the real Heat is not here yet. They will be here when Tyler is here. They will be here when Norm is over his groin injury. Then we can make judgments. But Big O, you don't win without closers in the NBA. And the Heat, their top 2 closers weren't on the court. So yes, Bam's a grinder. I know you appreciate him for that. And he grinded last night. Jaime's a spark off the bench. Game high 31 points. He was the spark plug last night. But this is a league about closers. Give me the Heat closers. Then I can assess where this might be headed.
Right, yeah. And by the way, I give Jaime credit because it was an efficient 31 points.
Yes.
Where
season, yeah.
Yeah, whereas, like when Bam scored 31 the other night, it was on 27 shots, and he went
Because he had to,
four,
right?
yeah, and he went 4 of 13 from 3-point range. I was like, damn, dude, you shot a lot. Like, he never shoots that much from 3-point range. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, and that's the thing about Jaime is, like you're saying, their shooting percentage is off the charts. He knows what he is. He's playing in attack mode. He's getting downhill. And it's interesting how you contrast him with Bam. Jaime realized, I'm not a three-point shooter. I ain't standing out there in the corner. It doesn't make me better. Bam is in that toying phase. He has a new toy. He wants to see what the three can be. I have no issue with that. He's made one now in 18 consecutive games dating to last season. I like that he's a threat. But you know what, Big O? The reason his shot totals are so high is because there's no Tyler, because there's no Bam. That will go down when those two return. So again, we have to wait on that. But like you like to say, for the last 3 or 4 years on our Accurate Pembroke Pines report, he is a super role player that needs to play in support. There's no one to support right now.
He's like an odd big man. Like he's so awesome in helping you in so many ways. But when it comes to scoring, you can't put the load on him because it's kind of odd. He's not really an efficient big man. You know what I mean? In scoring, he's not really as efficient as you would like.
He's not a high volume player, and he doesn't want those shots.
Don't give him volume. It's got to be more within the game, and that's when he's got to be in the flow of Tyler and Hero and that offense, and then he can play off of that, and he can play more garbage points and things like that.
He's a third option. You know what? We can't argue that anymore. We can sit here and talk about all NBA and maximum contract and all that. Offensively, he's a third option. When he gets back to that, he will be more comfortable in that starting lineup, and the Heat will be a better team. Let's face it. If you're saying we have to rely on Bam Adebayo for offense, you're not really going anywhere, and that's why they're 3-3 right now.
Now, when we do get Tyler and Powell back, that will change the way the ball moves around and who touches it. But I got to say, we talked about my boy Pelle Larsson. I got to figure out a way to keep him in there. But I got to figure out a way to keep Jaquez in there.
Oh, absolutely. That's not even a question anymore. He's your sixth man,
because what I'm saying is he cannot be forgotten all of a sudden. This guy is the perfect guy to play off of your three-point guys. You must have this guy in there because he might be your best two-point player at this point in time. So I just don't want him lost in the mix once Tyler and Powell are back, and then there's only one basketball, Ira. So I worry a little bit how everything will get kind of rejuggled again and how the ball moves around.
And I'll trust Eric Spoelstra on that. But if you're asking me, hey, with Jaime playing this well, with Pelle showing what he could be, with Tyler coming back, with Powell coming back, the three names I would give you for declining minutes are number one, Kel'el Ware. You got to earn it, buddy. He hasn't. Number two, Nikola Jovic. You got to earn it. He hasn't. Fair. And I think to a degree, Davion Mitchell also. And let's face it, what Davion Mitchell was when they acquired him and what he is now is he's a supporting contributor, a defensive specialist. He can make the passes when you need him. He'll fill in when someone is off his game. So I say those three right now for having sort of a critical mass meter. Who might lose minutes? Ware better step up. Jovic better step up. And the reality is Donovan Mitchell is exactly like he got paid. 2 years, $24 million, a little bit below the mid-level exception, about the salary in the NBA of a seventh or eighth man. And that's what he is.
Yeah, no, and I love your description of Mitchell because he's a guy that I think if you give him volume shots, then now you'll start to expose him a little bit. But if you keep him at a minimum or at an average where he can, a manageable one, he's going to be really efficient, overall, and so I kind of like that too. I agree with that. I just hope that it does work out that way because I'm in, what Jaquez is doing, you have to give him a lot of love because, man, he got killed last year. He had a terrible year, and everybody talked about how terrible he was.
He was.
And then they followed up with, this is what I also heard throughout the offseason. Well, why is he doing so many commercials? He doesn't do anything on the court and all this kind of crap and all that. So he's getting even more criticism from, making a living like any of us would do the commercials. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden he compartmentalized all that crap and whatever he did in the offseason, refocus to come out like this confident. I like it a lot, man.
It's like so many of us in our 20s, we don't know who we are. And then it clicks and you figure out who you are. And that's sort of what happened to Jaime, and he just said, this is who I am as a player. This is who I am as a personality. And it all came together. And it's great to see. And that's why you go to college, to find out who you are. And he did the full 4 years at UCLA. And he endured his growing pains because he also endured them at UCLA. You get a more mature player. Let's contrast that. Khalil Ware comes out after 2 years in college, really just 1 year playing time at Indiana, 21 years old, is less mature. It's all coming at him. He doesn't know where to handle it. Contrast that. Pelle Larsson, full college career, comes in, knows who he is. Contrast that, Nikola Jovic comes in at 18 years old, still learning. So that's the thing. When you talk about young players, there are different degrees of young. Jaquez is a mature young player. Larsson is a mature young player. Growing pains still for Khalil, growing pains still for Nikola.
By the way, how about Larsson's vision? Passing.
Huh? He just, you know what? He's just the guy who comes in and has this energy and is willing to do anything and everything and throw his body out there. And he's moving the ball. And we saw that at those assists last night against the Lakers. He'll be a playmaker if you need it. He'll be a rebounder if you need it. He'll dive on the floor if you need it. You need that energy over an 82-game NBA season, and that's what he provides.
Yeah, I like it. So the one thing that you said, 10 days for Tyler?
We're getting to that point. Yeah, the return just after that Knicks game in New York, the Heat's prime appearance on in the NBA tournament. It looks like that right now. Again, we don't know, but he was out on the court. He's been taking shots. He's been working with Chris Quinn. They traveled him for a reason on this trip. Not to play, but again, to mesh him in, to integrate him into what they're trying to do. So, yeah, I don't think it's that far away. I would almost guarantee by the end of the month, Tyler will be back on the court. And that's still, hey, you still have a full 4-month runway with him to see what you can be, and at least a 2+ month runway when it comes ahead of the NBA trading deadline, which I want to get to in a second.
Okay. All right. So what do you think about the deadline? What do you think is going to end up happening?
There's a name out there, and I wrote about it in my Ask Ira, and it's been speculated, and it's Ja Morant, who's serving a 1-game suspension for mouthing off at his coach the other day. Not even the finger guns for those just listening and not looking to Big O right now. And Big O, this is not one I'm in favor of. I love an attacking point guard. They really don't have that. I love the dynamic presence of a player who has shown over his career, he can be a superstar. Haven't really seen that from anyone else on this Heat roster. But, man, you talk about baggage. Like you pointed out, the finger guns and the off-court stuff, having issues with his head coach, not really getting anywhere. And I think he's lost through his injuries some of his explosiveness. Look, this is a Heat name, and I'm going to give you the comp. And you were here for that. And that's Tim Hardaway when Rick Adelman decided he wasn't a starter anymore at Golden State, and he was washed. Well, he was anything but washed when Pat Riley got him and brought him into the Heat during his first season in 95-96. Maybe that's the player. The trade would be Tyler for Ja, and you could work around all the other pieces that you need to, if you need to, any of them. I'm not saying that Tyler at his top, at his ceiling, has the same ceiling as Ja Morant. No. But, man, there were so many issues there. I don't think with young, impressionable players like we started our Accurate Pembroke Pines report today, with Jaquez, with Jovic, with Ware, with Kasparis, with the young players, do you really want the Ja influence in there? When Tim Hardaway came, it was more of a veteran team. You had this solid coaching of Pat Riley. I'm not in favor, and yet I would say this. I think this is going to become an ongoing talking point in our Accurate Pembroke Pines report, because I think the Grizzlies have to do something right now. Too much drama with Ja Morant in Memphis.
Well, I got to ask this. If it's Tyler and him, because of all the baggage, then the prices come down, right? There's not going to be a lot more that you have to add besides Tyler, correct? Or
yeah, I think it would be pretty much even up. Hey, we have Tyler Hero. He's due an extension. We're not sure that's money best spent. You have John Morant. He's under contract for 3 more years at about the money we would wind up giving Tyler. So it really is even up. It's a fresh start for both. This is very much a Pat Riley trade. This is very much what he does. Bring him into our culture. Bring him in under Spo, the steadiness of 18 years of the same coach. Bring him in under the Godfather. I'll get him in order just as I have. It's the Pat Riley Reclamation Center for Wayward Players, from Tim Hardaway to Anthony Mason. We've seen it over and over. Maybe it's worth one more chance. I'll say this. John Morant at his best is better than any player on the Miami Heat roster right now. But when, Big O, is the last time we saw John Morant at his best? He scored 12 stinking points when his team was blown out by the Heat just over a week ago. That's the question I have.
Yeah, no, definitely. And if you're tied to it 3 more years, you better be rock solid that you have a superstar, because obviously that's what you desperately need. You know what I'm saying? But wow. Yeah, you better be sure about that. All right. What are you working on in the Sentinel besides all that that folks can check out?
You know what? If you go to the sunsentinel.com website right now, it's not a rerun. Khalil Ware v. Eric Spoelstra just reminds me so much, like I mentioned, of Spo versus Hassan Whiteside. And just be active. Be out there. Khalil was so awful in that first stint last night against the Lakers that he didn't get back in until 69 seconds remained in the third quarter. I know Spo's trying to make a point, and he has to. But Spoelstra's also trying to win games right now, and Khalil isn't happening. There's a lot of things you can do as a developmental program. You can work on his footwork. You can work on his rebounding, on his shooting, and his scoring. I don't know if you ever can inject a motor. And that's what Khalil lacks right now. And yes, he is country playing from Arkansas, and it didn't work out at Oregon for that reason, that they just couldn't get him going. It took Mike Woodson being on his ass every single day in Indiana with the Hoosiers to finally get something out of him. But this is a long grind, the NBA season. And if Eric Spoelstra has to push and prod 82 times to get the most out of Khalil, at some point you just say enough is enough. So the question for me, and I wrote about this at sunsentinel.com, is can anyone get the motor revving with Khalil where it stays revving? Or are we going to have that up and down ride through another season?
Follow him on Twitter at Ira Heatbeat and catch his work there at the South Florida Sun Sentinel. Ira, as always, thank you, sir. We will catch up next week.
Heading out to the Dodger Parade like 2 blocks away today. I'll catch you from home next week. Thanks, Big O.
By the way, for us old guys, this is a top 10 World Series of all time.
It was, and that Game 7 was one of the all-time greatest games. I kept putting on Twitter, it was bananas while I went back and forth. But you know what? That shows you that baseball at its best can be as good as any sport. There were more compelling moments in that 3.5 hours on Saturday night than sometimes you can see in a complete Marlins season. So, I mean, what we saw there, that was baseball at its best.
It was, and I got to tell you, I don't like this baseball nowadays. It's all strikeouts and home runs.
Yes, all or nothing.
Yeah, it's
the NBA 3-pointer.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I used to love manufacturing runs and base stealing and guys that can bunt and people that can hit to opposite fields, because when you needed to hit an opposite field.
And you know what? I don't want to get off topic, and that's what the Blue Jays couldn't do. They kept having runners in scoring positions. They couldn't advance the runner. Vlad Guerrero leads off of the double, get the damn guy home. They couldn't do it because it's swing for the fences, and then some crazy Dodger guy runs over a teammate and gets it at the wall, and you lose the game because you couldn't play situational baseball. Totally agree with it, but man, was that compelling. It's one of the few times I said, football, don't need to watch, all about baseball tonight.
There's nothing like Lou Piniella falling asleep there on the bench, and they tap him, hey, Lou, what? Yeah, we need a hit, but we need you to hit it to the right field here to drive this guy in. And there's
one over. Yeah.
Just off the bench and there you go. Oh, you need an opposite? No problem. Bam. And everybody was taught that, it was just different, that there were more people that could all bunt. They could all hit opposite fields. They could all help manufacture runs. That's how I used to love baseball. But I got to admit, this is one of the best World Series I have ever seen. I didn't stay up for the 18 innings. I saw the rest of them. But man, what a great World Series.
No, I'm waiting for Game 8. It was that good. I agree.
It was a good. All right, Ira, we'll catch up next week. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Bingo.
You got it. All right. Acura of Pembroke Pines. They are at 15601 Pines Boulevard. And we love Larry Schlossberg and Pat Nasto and Tony Stampone. They know how to get it done. And Mr. Zinn, of course. I wish Mr. Zinn would buy the Dolphins. Then I could get excited. You know what I mean? Because all his dealerships absolutely kick ass. I know if he owned the Dolphins, they would kick ass too, by the way. 4.9% financing for 60 months. We got that for the ADX, $269 a month. The Integra 2025 model, $269 a month. 3.9% financing for 60 months. It's the happy new model year sale going on right now. The RDX, my wife drives it every day. 2025 model, $389 a month. 4.9% financing for 60 months. The TLX, $389 a month, 4.9% financing for 60 months. And the sports one, check out the sports one, the sports package, TLX Sports Edition. I forgot what exactly the name of it, but it is ridiculous, folks. 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 in Pines. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines.